Hello and welcome to a day of yoga. These are 4 short practices that you can build into your daily life. We're going to start off with a morning stillness practice. You don't necessarily need any props. You might like something to make your seat a bit more comfortable. I've got a little fold of the blanket. You could do the same. You could grab a cushion. You could also grab a bolster if you prefer. So we're going to start lying down on the back body. Taking your time, easing your way down, use the arms to support as much as you need to get there. We're going to begin from a shape called supported rest. So for this shape, the feet are about as wide as the mat. I'm going to place one hand towards the belly, one hand towards the heart space approximately. It doesn't have to be too specific here. Take a moment to wriggle the shoulder blades down the back. You might adjust the position of the head, turning left and right as well. Let the weight of the bones release down. You might allow a soft point of contact between the legs as well. If it's comfortable for you to do so, the eyelids could quietly close as well, and the eyes themselves, you could picture them just resting back within their sockets. With the hands resting on the front surface of the body, this is a really nice place to start to feel into the pattern of your own breath. And for this practice, or any yoga practice, there's no right or wrong way to be breathing. It's just an opportunity to start to notice, what's the feeling of the breath? Is there a tone, a shape, a sound? Knowing that this breath, it might change through the practice and it might change through your day as well. It means there's always something new to notice. Resting our awareness into the breath, we're going to take a short meditation practice, moving the breath between the spaces of the heart and the belly. As you next breathe in, you could imagine the breath moving from the heart down towards the belly. And as you exhale, imagine that same breath washing back from the belly to the heart. And continue in this way for a few rounds, heart to belly. And exhaling, belly to heart. Find your pace. You might find that you breathe a bit slower or faster than my count. That's fine. Your practice. As you continue to work with the breath in this way, as the breath descends down from the heart to the belly, you can imagine this almost fiery quality. As you rest into the belly, there's a kind of cool, watery texture that you might be able to sense into. You inhale the fire cooled by water. On the exhale, the water gets a little bit warmed up by the fire. You could imagine evaporating a little bit. Working with the breath in this way, 2 elemental tides deep within the body. Take 3 more rounds of breath. At the end of your next exhale, releasing from that awareness technique. Simply let the breath flow. I'm going to come all the way up to sit, and I'm going to make this smooth, as easeful as possible. You could hug knees to chest. You could roll to one side, whichever is easiest for you in your space. And then use the hands to support to gradually come all the way up to sit. And this is the moment where you might like to use your blanket, your cushion, your bolster. I'm going to place the folded blanket just on the center of the mat and rest the sit bones towards the very front of that folded prop. From here, you might take crossed legs. You could also come towards a kneeling seat if that's more comfortable for you. Let the hands rest to the knees or the thighs, and you might brush through the legs just a little bit here. Let the shoulders wriggle down the back. And we'll begin this seated practice with the eyes open and just taking a quiet scan around your room. And it might be somewhere that you're very familiar with, particularly if you've just rolled out of bed and you're in your own home. If it is somewhere you're very familiar with, what's something new that you could notice in the room? Maybe there's a feeling of colour or light on the eyes. Maybe there's a texture that you've never noticed before. This is a really great way to attune ourselves to our external environment. Find somewhere neutral to rest the gaze, and if it's comfortable, the eyelids can lower and close now. Of course, in this practice or any yoga practice, you're always welcome to work with the eyes open and a soft focus. Lots of people prefer that gesture with the eyes. Slightly different feeling in the body now. We have a vertical axis through the center of the body. You could picture the head balanced over the heart balanced over the belly. And this quietly curving S-shaped spine that connects those energetic points within the body itself. I'm going to explore this central axis, following the line of the spine. And start to place your awareness in the space of the skull and start to explore that space, feeling the texture of the brain, the curvature of the bone, as well as the particular feeling in this part of the body. Sometimes it can feel a bit busy or kind of a staticky feeling that comes to mind quite often in this space for me. And it's going to be unique to you, but just noticing, what's the feeling of that area? And I'm going to slowly start to drop the awareness down bit by bit, moving from the skull to the connective space at the back of the neck, as well as this being a connective point for the skeletal system between the skull and the smallest vertebrae of the cervical spine. It's also a key connective space in our nervous system, so you could picture the tails of the central nervous system pouring down from the brain. Start to scan down further still, finding the space of the heart. You could imagine the heart wrapped around by the lungs, contained within the bony structure of the rib cage. And then start to scan the awareness down a little bit further, working from heart down through the layers of the spine, each vertebrae linked to the one beneath it. Let the awareness pour down now to the space of the pelvis. In the same way we explored the shape of the skull, you can do that same thing now, just letting the awareness have a bit of an explore through the shape of your pelvis. You could picture a bowl-like structure, almost mirroring the skull at the top of the body, but quite a different feeling. And sometimes this part of the body can feel a little bit cooler, calmer. Slightly deeper in tone, perhaps. Spending some time here at the start of your day and acknowledging this slightly calmer space that maybe we can move to and from as we go about the rest of our day. Take a few more breaths here. Gently come back to the feel of your hands as they meet the knees or the thighs. Your sit bones as they release down towards the ground. Eyes can slowly come to open, and we come back to that visual gaze that we started with. You might take a little look around your space, coming back to that more external environment. And closing the practice, bringing hands to heart space, you might rest palms over chest. You could also take Anjali Mudra in prayer. Full breath in. And as you exhale, maybe lowering head to heart. In your time, easing back. Thank you so much for joining for this short practice. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you soon. Thank you.